Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is King Koda and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going over everything you need to know when you first start Genshin Impact. Let's get into it. So, at the very start of the game, don't worry, I'm not going to put any spoilers here for the story. You're going to need to select between the two twins. You have Aether and Lumine, and I'm apparently on mouse and keyboard instead of controller. So, Lumine is, of course, the female character, and Aether is, of course, the male character. They both play exactly the same. There is no real difference between the two, other than personal preference. Right now, we'll go with the main character, since I usually play as the female. And we're just gonna call him Newbie. That's you guys. So immediately following that, we're now picking up immediately after that cutscene. Hope you guys enjoyed that. The budget for their cutscenes seems to be exceptional in this game. I'm just quickly swapping my controls over to controller because that is what I prefer for this style of game. If you want to leave it on your keyboard and mouse if you're playing on PC, that's fine. Playing on PS4, then of course you'll be using the same controls as me, and mobile gamers, best of luck to you. You can actually hook up a controller to your phone now and play with it that way. So immediately as we start here, one of the first pro tips is if you see a crab, pick up a crab. Trust me, you're gonna want crabs. Get as many crabs as you possibly can. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna head into the water here. Do not sprint swim. It will tell you to hold R1 to sprint, all that. Don't do that right now. You're going to want to go slowly or you're going to run out of stamina. This game uses a stamina function, much like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's why this game gets a lot of comparisons drawn to it and Breath of the Wild. There's other reasons that we'll be getting into. But the main one is to know that you do have a stamina. You can increase the stamina wheel, but right now it is very small. And if you use it wrong, you will die. Like that. That was an example. Now to do it right. Little pro tip, you don't have enough stamina to make it all the way to the rock. Stop on this smaller rock next to the rock and you'll make it perfectly fine. So, once we get to this big rock, there was a reason I brought you all the way out here, and that is because there is a chest here. Now, this is a precious chest. There are several different types of chests in the game. There's common, exquisite, precious, and luxurious. Somebody will tell me I'm wrong in the comment section down below. Why don't you go ahead and just do that? So this is a precious chest. It's one of the highest grade chests, and when you open it, you'll get rewarded with a lot of items that are useful for your journey and for leveling your characters up. This chest is right at the beginning. Everyone misses it when they first play, but you're a smart guy. You're watching my guide. Don't worry. Here's where it is. So, as you can see, we got quite a few items with that. Don't worry, I will be going over all of these in due time. But for right now, it's important that you just continue on following our little guide friend to complete the tutorial. So, I'm going to go a little bit further into the tutorial, and then we'll cut back to what we have going on. So, another pro tip here. There's a teleporter right there that if you go ahead and go and activate, you can save yourself from having to swim back and drowning like I just did. So that might be a smart thing to do. So we're gonna get a little bit into the combat in this game. You have rapid attacks with your basic press of the attack button. This performs a combat chain. Pick up the crab. When the enemy is coming to attack you, if the slime will be so kind to attack me, you can you can press the dash button, and you will do a dodge. These dodges actually have what are called iframes, or invincible frames on them. But bear in mind, it will consume your stamina. Holding the attack button does a charged attack. This usually has much higher scaling, however, it will consume your stamina also, so bear that in mind. So as Paimon's going to explain here, or I guess she doesn't explain, this is the teleport waypoint that I was talking about earlier that you should activate before you go back for that chest. Activating this waypoint Now when we bring up our map, we can teleport here by selecting it and hitting to teleport. At no cost, you can teleport to any waypoints that you've already activated in the game. Lizards aren't as important as crabs, but beginning of the game, you should definitely grab any resource that you come across. Be it an animal or a flower.
Here. Guess we'll just have to climb.
So much like in
Climbing
Breath of the Wild.
Stamina, and depleted stamina takes time to recover.
I was explaining this, Paimon.
Okay, let's take the route we planned.
So much like in Breath of the
We're
Wild,
off
your
to
stamina. Can you shut up?
Statue of the Seven.
Can you shut up?
Which of the 7 are you looking for exactly?
Okay. I wish Paimon actually followed you normally like this. Anyways. When you climb, it depletes your stamina, much like in Breath of the Wild, and when you're falling, you can actually use your melee button in midair and you will strike the ground. This greatly reduces the amount of damage you take from falling and can save your life. When entering a new area, also in this game, make sure that you take the time to run around and grab any new resources that might be in the area. Oftentimes, based on the new maps that we've gotten, Leeway and the Dragon's Spine area, there are new resources added per region that are worth collecting.
As we all know, poetry and language flow like
So
the
here
wind.
you cannot
There'll
leave
definitely be
Paimon's
someone
side
there who knows about your
by more than
sister.
like a
At
few
least
feet.
that's what Paimon thinks. Whether the gods
you
actually
can't
answer
explore
you is a different story.
until you get
never know
to
unless
the
you
ocean
try.
side.
So let's hop to it.
Paimon, you like to talk over me a lot. Have you noticed that? Now, I know I said you can't go more than a few feet, but you can actually grab this chest up here. So definitely make sure you do so. As I said, I'll be going over chest rewards in a moment.
You can swim right over.
Alright, so Paimon has finally left us to go over there, and that means that we can go and explore this area. This creature right over here is called a Seelie. This is a friendly spirit that will guide us to its resting point. Once we get to its resting point, it will reward us with a chest. Seelie are often used also for some of the puzzles in the game. So we follow the Seelie all the way back to its home, which is this statue right here. Also, anytime you are next to these statues and you're wondering where their corresponding Seelie is, if you go there and you use what's called your elemental sight, you can see it in the top left corner next to my minimap, as well as in your quick selection window, which on controller is L1, on keyboard and mouse is tab, and on mouse and keyboard, or on controller is L1, on mouse and keyboard is tab, and on mobile, I have no idea. It's the eye icon to the left, so when I hit the left button, it triggers the eyes, and those will direct you towards the Seelie. Now that didn't trigger because the Seelie was right next to it. As you can see, we obtained an exquisite chest. This is a higher rarity than the common chest that we just acquired. Now, most of the gear and everything that we are obtaining from these chests right now are not usable to us yet, which is why I'm not really going over what we're obtaining from them. It'll be helpful to have these in the future. Here's another chest location over here. It'll be helpful to have these very soon, but we do not have to go into our inventory and mess around with them right now. So we're going to swim across this pond here. You can actually sprint swim, you won't drown unless you take your time. And a cutscene happens that we skip. So upon touching this statue of the Seven, it opens up the map to us, revealing the surrounding area. And we can see there are other statues of the Sevens below. all the way down to the bottom of the map. These each will unlock new area for us to explore. They also act as teleport locations. Teleport's disabled because I'm currently in a cutscene. And allow us to see other locations. We have here some kind of temple. We have here more teleport waypoints that we have to go and unlock. So the best idea is to go from one statue of the 7 to the other and to grab all the new locations that statue opens up. So we have a lot to go and unlock now. So now this is combat training, but with your new elemental power. Every character in this game has a form of elemental resonance, and what we just obtained is the Anemo resonance. This will allow us to do wind-based powers. So you can see if I go over to this guy and I hit the right trigger on mouse and keyboard, it's E, it'll unleash my elemental skill. And if I hold it, this one actually has a charged function. So by holding it, I do a longer and more damaging ability. Damaging enemies with your elemental skill causes you to obtain elemental particles, which will build into your ultimate, otherwise known as your elemental burst. Unleashing your elemental burst does devastating damage and can really help you turn the tide in battle. Another good thing to note about the Statue of the 7 is it will actually heal you. If you go and interact with the Statue of the 7, go to the statue's blessing, you can see where it says auto recover when nearby is set to 50%. This means that if you are less than 50%, it will heal you. I recommend just go ahead and up this to 100%. You'll really only be wanting to use this top up in between battles, and it recharges its elemental restorative power over time, so you don't really have to worry about it. So whenever we leave here, you can see my character is now fully healed. Let's continue on with the exploration.
Proceed with caution.
There's a spoiler there, so we'll just ignore that. But there's some resources in this game that can only be obtained via special ways, like elemental reactions or by having a certain type of weapon. For instance, these dandelions can only be obtained after you remove the fuzzy ball around them. You can see I cannot interact with this, but by using an Anemo character and blowing away those fuzz, we can now collect the dandelion seeds. These are a very special resource I would highly recommend collecting right away. Now, you can see the objective marker wants me to go over that way, but by exploring just a little bit, we come over to a Hilchurl camp. Now, these goblin-looking guys are known as Hilchurls, and they come in a few different flavors. We have here just basic club Hilchurls and one dude that can infuse his club with pyro. And when we defeat these guys, you can see that defeating those guys has unlocked this chest inside of this hut, allowing us to obtain that. And by breaking these boxes, another chest. So always be on the lookout for chests. Don't worry if you don't get every chest in the area. You'll actually have a much easier time of getting them later in the game through a feature they added where you can actually build a compass that tells you when you are nearby chests. And if we come over this way, from where the objective is wanting us to go, we come across even more stuff. Let's see, we have another couple Hilchurls causing some mischief. Taking them down will give us even more goodies.
Wind blade.
Allowing us to access this chest. This chest that is currently out on the water. Remember to watch your stamina. And another secret is this right here. This cracked looking rock can actually be destroyed by your character. And I accidentally already triggered it, so apparently you don't have to destroy it to trigger it. But this statue has the Anemo sigil and is green. And hitting it with an elemental skill will activate it allowing you to get the reward from that puzzle. Replaying this game, I'm just knowing they really did change Paimon's voice. I think it's the same voice actress, but they changed how it sounds now in English dub. It's a lot less grating than when this game first started. Another special item to make sure you always pick up when you see it is this small lamp grass. It's a very important item for some characters' ascension, and so making sure you collect it is usually a good idea. There's a chest located right up over here before you get into the next story bit, so make sure you grab that. Some more lamp grass just to the side over here. If you're wondering where I am ever, and I'm not directly pointing out on the map, the mini-map is in the top left-hand corner, and you guys are smart little beans, and you can figure it out by yourself. Pro tip number 3 coming in here: when you are talking with Amber, make sure you note that Paimon is food. Alright, so upon completing that story, you get your first brand new character. I'll be going over characters and how you obtain them very shortly, do not worry. But the first character you obtain is Amber, which, I mean, there's a lot of opinions around Amber. I'll be getting into it, don't worry. But Amber is an archer character, so right here it's teaching me how to swap characters. On the mouse and keyboard, it's 1 through 4. On the controller, it is the directional buttons, and on mobile, I think you just tap on them on the screen. So we swap over to Amber. Now we are an archer class character. We can then shoot targets over long range. Okay, so that was a bit of story going on there that I wanted to make sure that you guys are experiencing the story on your own your first time through. Now that we finally have 2 characters, we can go over some of the stuff that we obtained via the chest. So there's a chest right here as a good example. When you first open up a chest, you will obtain what's called Adventure XP. You can see it as this green bar at the top of my screen. It increases your adventurer rank, which is kind of like your account level. It'll also drop you various forms of materials and other goodies. One of the things you will always obtain from a chest, whether it's here in Mondstadt or in a future continent, like Liyue, or no doubt in Inazuma, when that gets added in the future, maybe you're watching this in the future and it's already a thing, you will obtain a sigil. These sigils can be traded to people inside the major cities of their area for very important resources. So here we have the Anemo sigils of Mondstadt. You definitely want to make sure you're obtaining as many chests as possible so you can build up these sigils to buy out everything that's inside of that shop. Other important things you can receive from chests are crafting ingredients, as well as character experience cards. These are what you mainly use to level up your characters past like level 10. I wouldn't use these right now. Go ahead and just start stockpiling them. But when you get further into the game and you're wanting to level up characters or new characters that you obtain, this is basically how you do it. You can see we have green tier, which gives you 1,000 XP. There's also blue tier that gives you 5,000 XP. And then there is a purple tier, which gives you an amount I do not remember off the top of my head. You also get artifacts, which I'm going to go over in just a second. These are basically special equipment items that can boost the stats of your characters, and the weapons for your characters. So let's have a look at equipping a character, and we're going to use dear old Amber here. So every character starts with a white tier beginner weapon. You can see Amber here has the Hunter's Bow. But through all those chests that we've opened, we've obtained a level 2 weapon. You can see that the Hunter's Bow has a base attack of 23, whereas the Seasoned Hunter's Bow has a base attack of 33. It's just a straight upgrade. From Tier 1 to Tier 2 weapons, the only difference is that Tier 2 weapons have better stats. So there's really no reason why we should not go ahead and equip the Seasoned Hunter's Bow. going over artifacts, there are 5 different types of artifacts. However, I do not want to equip artifacts right now on Amber. Amber will be acting kind of as the support while I'm playing through, and I'm not planning on using her for too long. The main character, however, is a 5-star character. To explain this, characters have different rarities. Amber is a 4-star character. The beginning character and some of the more sought-after, harder to obtain characters are 5-star characters. You can tell the rarity of a character that you have by going into the character archive. Here you can see every character that's currently been released for the game, and you can see Amber is down here as a purple. Those that have the gold background are the 5-star characters. So let's equip some artifacts on our traveler. The feather will always have attack. The flower will always have HP. And this is the first one that I have as a tier 3 artifact. Now, you can see that the tier 1s actually have a bonus effect. This is the Traveling Doctor set. So as a 2-set piece, it will increase my incoming healing I receive by 20%, and when I use an Elemental Burst, my ultimate ability, it will restore 20% of my HP. And you can see I have a tier 3 version of, or a tier 2 version of the exact same flower. You can see the tier 1 gives you 129 HP, the tier 2 gives you 258 HP, and here we have the Adventurous Flower as our tier 3. It has a different effect, being as a different group of artifact. It will increase my max HP by 1,000 if I have 2 pieces of this exact same artifact equipped. It will also give me a 30% regenerated HP every time I open up a chest. Early game, while I'm just running around exploring, I think this is a great set to have to equip. Also, it has the highest stats I possibly want. Right now, more than anything, what I'm wanting you guys to focus on is that big main stat there. The plus 11 defense or whatever, we don't care about that. We're not going to care about that for a very long time, well past beginner guide levels. Here we have the hat. Now, the hat's a very interesting thing. It will actually have a unique type of stat associated with it. You can see this one has HP percent, which can scale higher than flat HP. It also has defense percent as an option, or more importantly, I have this one that has crit damage. Crit damage and crit rate can only appear as the main stat for your hat piece artifact. So even though I have this 3-star hat, this is much more rarer, being a crit damage hat, and will therefore be the one that I will personally be equipping right now. And you can see now I have 2 pieces of the Traveling Doctor, and thus I have the 2-set bonus of Traveling Doctor activated. On the goblet is another very unique one. It allows you to have things like HP percent and defense percent, but more importantly, you can get things like Anemo damage bonus, physical damage bonus, electro damage bonus, etc., etc. These bonuses will increase the damage that I deal with my Anemo, in the case of an Anemo damage bonus, or my basic white number attacks from my basic attacks with physical damage bonus. Some characters want to scale with their element, some characters want to scale with physical damage, some characters can be built both ways. It's really up to you. Unfortunately, I have HP percent here. Not the biggest thing, but I will go ahead and equip it just to boost my stats right now. And then we have the Pocket Watch. The Pocket Watch is a very important aspect also. It will give you attack percent, HP percent, defense percent, as well as its unique elemental possibilities being Elemental Mastery and Energy Recharge. I'll be going over Elemental Mastery much later on, but to go over Elemental Recharge, it's basically how quickly my Elemental Burst, my ultimate, builds. The higher my Elemental Recharge, the faster I get my burst. This is attack percent. which is typically what most people run on their characters that are main damage dealers. This will be fantastic to run on our main character for right now. And just for the hell of it, we'll go ahead and give him a silver sword. And that is kind of like all I'm going to be doing for building up my character for the next like 10 to 12 levels. I don't really need to mess with this stuff in the early game. You guys really don't need to even worry about this. If you want, you don't have to equip a single artifact to a character right now. I'm just doing this to kind of help you guys know what to do. Anyways, let's move on to other things. Much like characters, weapons can be leveled. If we go in here to our bag and look at my weapons, you can see they are all level 1. The silver sword that we just equipped to our traveler could be leveled all the way up to 20 without needing any other form of material. You can see I can feed in other weapons that I do not want to use, these low rarity ones, or you could feed in these enhancement ores that you obtain from chests. These will give XP. 400 XP for the gray, 2000 XP for the green, and 10,000 XP for the blue. These can also later on be crafted in the game by rocks that you can obtain. I'm going to not be leveling this up right now. It is only a 2-star item, and we will soon be able to get 3 and 4-star weapons. Much more powerful items that are much more worth leveling. Right now, there's no enemy that can stand the might of our Amber and our newbie. So let's get on with this. Now, if we come over here, these are iron ore veins. These drop iron chunks that we can then use to craft later on at the blacksmith. However, their health is a little bit chunky for our traveler right now. He can get through it, but he can only really get through these iron chunks, not the white iron and definitely not the mystical iron. However, as I will be showing you later, you will get an option to obtain a character for free that will help you mine these stones much more efficiently. I'm going to quickly just mine all these just because I'm here. Apparently your elemental skill can be used also to help you mine. Alright, we've obtained all those iron ore. Let's move on. We're going to move forward with the story slightly to help us get further to going inside of there. That is Mondstadt, the main city of this region. Actually, before we continue with the story, down here we have our friend Lynn. She is going to teach us how to cook. But before she does that, just come over here and hit investigate. And this will drop items, the mushroom, the fowl. You can break this rock, and sometimes it'll drop you even more stuff. And then come over here and talk with Lynn. She's going to ask you if you want to cook. Yeah, I'm just going to skip through here to quickly get to the cooking part. So, you come over to any lit pot and you can cook. If it's not lit, because somebody did that, and you can no longer cook here, call out Amber or whatever pyro character you want, and hit it, and it will relight it to allow you to cook. So there are two menus here. This menu is for processing ingredients. You can see I can turn my crabs into crab roe. Don't do this, only villains do that. And over here, I can cook dishes. Now what she wants me to make is a chicken and mushroom skewer, which requires 1 mushroom and 1 chicken piece. I can also make stuff like steak, sweet madame. These are all the recipes I currently have unlocked. You can obtain more recipes through playing the game. So let's make the chicken skewer that she wants us to cook. So it's going to bring us up to this menu. You can see proficiency 0 out of 5. When I max that by cooking this dish perfectly 5 times, I'll unlock the ability to auto-cook it, so I don't have to play the mini-game every time. You can also see in the top right-hand corner, I can select a different character to cook with. Some characters get bonuses for cooking specific dishes. Right now we do not currently have a character that does that, so we'll just go ahead and cook this manually. And you want to aim for that yellow square. Triggering it within the yellow square will give you the item perfectly done. So continuing on with the story, we're going up here to help Amber.
A Hilchurl. Quick, get it!
And before we help Amber, remember to activate the teleport waypoint that you're nearby. This will give you plus 50 adventure XP, aka your account XP.
These monsters have been getting too close to the city recently. My task this time is to clear out their camp.
Now that we have Amber, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about her. Now, being a bow character, she actually has 2 modes of firing her arrows. If you just hit the attack button, she will rapidly fire out arrows into a combo. If you hold the attack button, she will do a charged arrow shot that will infuse it with her element, hers being fire. There's also an aimed mode that you can activate. It's R on mouse and keyboard. On controller is just hold down the left trigger, and you can deactivate it by letting go of the left trigger or hitting R again. I'm sorry, mobile. I'm going to have to stop mentioning what is on yours because I don't play mobile. I don't know. She also has what she calls the Baron Bunny. It is
Go, Baron Bunny!
a little dancing doll version of Amber that will attract enemies to it, kind of like the monkeys in Call of Duty Zombies, if you've ever played that. And then, as you can see, it will also explode, doing damage. It does have a set amount of HP, and if its HP runs out, it will explode then, before the timer. So let's use Amber to take out this group of Hilchurls. We're gonna knock that guy off, we're gonna distract them with that. We do much more damage with our charged shot than by just spam shooting as Amber. That's also something to take as note.
Nothing to it.
I just want to point out that I am skipping every cutscene for you guys. I do think that Genshin Impact has a fantastic story and should not be skipped. All of the characters are very vibrant, have great personalities, and you should take your time to enjoy it.
Lazing around like this.
So we're gonna grab all the goodies that are on the floor, grab the chest that we obtained, and obtain adventure rank 4. Now we're gonna go do a little bit more work to get a little bit more adventure XP. The story wants us to continue on over into the city, but for now, I think it's best that we go down over this way. This will allow us to obtain some more of these dandelion seeds, very important, as well as some slimes to fight. Of the new type, this is the Anemo version of the slime. Slimes become part of an element and actually cannot be damaged by the element that they are a part of. So that the slimes cannot be hurt by my Anemo because they themselves are Anemo. This guy's stuck down here. You see that killing those slimes that randomly appeared can also reward you with a chest. Like I said, I'm getting all these artifacts. Sure, you could take the time to put them on Amber, but she doesn't really need them. You can see that slime that I just killed has dropped an item. This will happen a lot more commonly as you level up your adventure rank and the enemies in the world get stronger. But the dropped items from enemies are very important to obtain because they're useful for not only leveling your character up, but also your weapon. Let's go ahead and grab...
Oh, it's one of those consolidated wind things.
So,
Let's
these
head back to
are
the statue
called
of the
Anemonculus. However, the real OGs call them blue boys. There are blue
Well,
boys,
you should come
orange
with me.
boys,
Paimon will tell you about the
and
rest later.
red boys. Paimon, you're not going to tell them about the rest later. I'm telling them about the rest right now. Remember to grab as many of those as you can. Right in the beginning of the game, it's important to mark the ones that you had found, so that way later on, whenever you're trying to hunt them all down, it's easier. However, now there's a convenient tool you can obtain that will show you any that you have not yet obtained. So it's not as important. Also, over here we have these. These are Windwheel Asters. These are extremely important for leveling up some very important characters that you may obtain. So it's important to grab them. Even if you don't use them for a while, you may one day get a character that uses these that you will want to level up. So now we come over to this statue of the Seven.
Let's make an offering and see if the gods respond.
So we're going to unlock this statue of the Seven, which will reveal more of the map, as well as allow us to teleport here. Then, if we go to worship the statue, and we offer our Anemonculus, we will obtain rewards. You can see we're getting +7 to our max stamina, 80 Adventurer XP, 10 Primo Gems, which I'll be going over in a little bit, and 5 Anemo Sigils. I have no idea how long this video is going to be after I cut out all these cutscenes. I've been recording for an hour now. It's got to be a lot less. So, pro gamer move number whatever. Grab these butterflies anytime you see them. There are these blue butterflies here, there are yellow butterflies in Leeway, and there are ice butterflies in the ice area. And they give you crystal cores that you will need to use. You can also see on the minimap there is this like diamond shaped object. That is another Anemonculus. You can see it over there. And carefully work our way down because we don't have our ability to safely get down. So bear that in mind. And from a higher vantage point, see we have a chest over there and a chest way over there. We're gonna go get that chest. Carefully work our way down, I said. We're gonna go get this chest way over here. Don't worry, the statue of the Seven over here will heal me up. There we go. We're gonna grab this chest over here and then continue on with the main story. We actually just got an artifact that I think is really good for early game if you're looking for artifacts to specifically grab. And that is this Berserker's timepiece. The Berserker set is fantastic for early game. You can see it gives me my attack percent. It also gives me crit rate. The 2-set piece for Berserkers will give you crit rate plus 12%. And as a 4-set piece, when your HP is below 70%, crit rate is increased by an additional 24%. Very good for doing some early game damage. That's just triggering to tell us to go and talk with Lynn to do the cooking, because we didn't actually finish that. We need to give Lynn...
Oh, are you travelers from around here as well?
No,
I see. I'm Lynn.
I don't remember this being voice
my travel
acted.
partner here is...
That's okay. You won't get... There are some mushrooms and meat in the barrel over there.
So Lynn here basically just wants us to give her
Is it done? Let me
the
try.
mushroom skewer that we cooked.
Now that's really...
Paimon,
With your... Oh,
can we really...
that's okay. There's also...
Okay, thank you for the info.
It's just her giving you the lowdown on cooking. You can make sure to listen to that in your own time. She tells you about obtaining recipes and the such. Alright, so before we continue on with where Amber wants us to go, just as a note, down here is Wagner. He's the blacksmith. You can come to him to have things made. As you can see, I can turn the iron chunks that I farmed earlier into the gray tier iron rocks. You can have up to 4 maximum crafting items going on at a time. This is also how you can obtain some of the strongest weapons for free to play. Over here is Catherine. She's a potential robot and head of the Adventurers Guild. Catherine will give you daily quests that you can do that we will be going over here in just a minute. The game's really wanting me to take a look at my quests. This is where you can keep track of your quests in order to figure out what you're supposed to be doing, as well as to track them by hitting navigate. And it also shows you the reward for completing the quest. This compass looking icon over here, these are the currently active events. We have the Outland gastronomy going on right now, that all you have to do is log in for 7 days and you can see you're getting some pretty good rewards. Let's go ahead and claim that. So here we have Marjorie. She's the owner of With Wind Comes Glory. This is the place that we turn in. Oh, I can't do it yet. This is a place where we turn in our Anemo sigils for unique and special items. I guess since I'm going over elements of the UI, I might as well cover in the top left-hand corner next to the minimap is the Paimon menu. This is your start or pause menu. And it basically gives you the rundown of stuff that you have. You can see I can edit my profile. This is what people see whenever they hover over me. I can showcase various characters that I have obtained. Let's go ahead and just show off our fantastic beginning characters. You can also change your name card. You will obtain various different name cards by completing achievements, becoming friends with characters, stuff like that. You can also set your birthday. I recommend, if you don't care about it being on your actual birthday, set this to tomorrow, and you'll get a very nice benefit tomorrow. Let's see, today is 3/25. Just to time gate this video. This also is where you can find your achievements. And your achievements will give you Primo Gems, which I promise I'm going to go over the Primo Gems in just a moment. It's also where you can access the notice board. The notice board is informing you about events that are currently active in the game and upcoming. So this is telling you about the current event that's happening, the Windbloom Festival, as well as the recent update, web events, stuff like that. It's a pretty important thing to look over if you want to know exactly what's going on in the game. And then lastly, we have our mail. The mail is where you get your free stuff, the good goods. Oftentimes, Genshin Impact or MoHoYo will send you items just for playing the game. You can see right here we have the 3 million registered milestone reward. And for that, we're getting 1,000 of the gold coins, 10 of these special blue balls I'll be going over soon, food, XP cards, all that good stuff. So this is good stuff to get. And for first playing the game, when you first sign in, you get these Wings of Companionship reward, which are special things that I will go over in just a second. Let's go talk with Amber. That's what you like to see. And with that, you get a luxurious chest. There are a few other special chests to show you in the world, but you can see a luxurious chest actually gives you... Get back here. A lot of great rewards compared to the regular and common chests. So Amber gave me one of the most important things in the game, and that is the wing glider. Using these wings, you can glide to your heart's content all around Mondstadt, Liyue. Just get up somewhere high, jump off, and fly to your heart's content. How you activate them is you jump off of a high up area, and then you hit the jump button again, and it will trigger your wing glider. Now I'm going up here because this is the only way to access this teleport. So make sure you come and you grab it. While you're up here, if you will jump down, you will find this luxurious chest, as well as this common chest. When the game first came out, there was a big debate going on whether or not chests respawn, and I can definitively tell you they do not respawn. However, MoHoYo does add chests into the game periodically. You will be able to obtain new chests as well as whenever you level up your world level, new chests can appear. So you should always be on the lookout for them, but just know that once you do open up a chest, they are gone. There's no reason to save opening up chests either, because the rewards do not scale with your level. Okay, before we meet up with Amber, make sure we also grab this teleport. You could grab this before you're headed up, but I forgot. So after that cutscene, you unlock what's called the dressing room. This is where your new glider skin that you just got is, as well as maybe future skins for your characters actually to change their appearance. Mihoyo, please put that in the game. I'm gonna look in this corner just because in the rest of the room is a bit of a spoilery thing of characters. We have unlocked the shop. This is where you can buy things, unlock characters by saving up special resources called your Star Glitter that you obtain by getting duplicates of characters. And where you can, of course, top up your Genesis crystals, which you can then convert into Primo Gems. You can see up in the top right-hand corner, the Primo Gems we've obtained. So far, I've obtained 156. With these, actually, I've obtained a little bit more because I can go in here and there. With these, you can go into your wish system that was just unlocked, and you can obtain characters. Now, the first wish you should do is here on the beginner's wish, because this is a discount. You can see it says wish times 10, usually requires 10 over those little blue orbs that we obtain, the Acquaint Fates. But instead it costs 8, so we get to save a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do a 10 pull on here. And it was a 5-star right off the bat. That is extremely unlikely. The odds of getting a 5-star on the first pull is ideal, but not everyone gets to do that. So when you do a 10 pull, you're guaranteed a 4-star character, and you have the chance to get a 5-star. As you can see, you also get a bunch of level 3 weapons with the chance of getting some 4-star weapons. So we're gonna go through here and just see what we got. That's good for the VOD. And we got Diluc, who's a spoiler. So we got a mosaic screen, I guess. And Noelle, who is a character that you want to pull on the beginner's wish for, because she can help you mine stones, as well as is a very good early game healer. You can see I got Stardust from that, not the Star Glitter because I didn't obtain any duplicates, but I did obtain 120 Stardust. That can also be used to buy wishes and other useful items, as I'll show you here in a second. There's also the character event wish. Now, this is something important to note for free-to-play. If you are planning on not putting any money in this, you want to save all of your Primo Gems and all of your intertwined fates, this kind of like pinkish blue ball. You want to save those until a character comes out that you really enjoy and you want to play as them. There is the ability to try out all the characters that are available on this banner. You can see on this banner we have Venti, who is a character that we will meet later on in the story, as well as 3 other characters. There's Noelle again, so you can get multiple copies of Noelle to make your Noelle stronger. There's Sucrose, who is a wonderful 4-star unit, one of my favorites in the game. And there's Razor, one of the strongest DPS units in the game. This is a great beginner's banner. If you're just getting into the game and you want to just go ahead and throw some wishes on here, be my guest. There's also the weapon banner. This is a scam. Don't do this. And then there's the basic banner. This has basically everyone except for the event character available on it. This special looking bow and Venti cannot be found in this banner, but everything else can. So bear in mind that you could wish on here and a 5-star appears, and instead of getting, you know, Mona, Ching, or Chi-Chi like you see here, you get one of those Skyward Spine weapons over there. In my opinion, you should just wish on this anytime you get a blue ball. You get the blue balls pretty often just by playing the game, so just wish on them. You should also you can do the beginner's wish twice before it goes away, and since it's discounted, really save up for that. I'm just doing this because I don't know if I'll be playing on this account anymore. So that is it for that. The last things I want to go over is domains and bosses, but I don't really have time to get to unlocking those, so I'm just going to explain them. So, when characters level up, they require special rocks. Let's take Noelle, for example. She requires these goldish rocks that come from the Geo boss. She also requires a special item that only the Geo boss drops. So you have to fight the Geo boss in order to ascend her to higher level tiers. She also requires a type of scavenged item, in this case these Val berries. She also requires items dropped by enemies, in this case Hilchurl masks. So you want to fight the bosses in order to be able to level up your characters. You can only level them up so much depending on your adventure rank. Also, artifacts. There are going to be buildings called domains. These are where you obtain some resources in order to level up your characters for their talents, which I'll get into here in a sec, as well as their artifacts. However, do not farm artifact domains until you are AR, Adventure Rank 45. After that, feel free. Because then you will be guaranteed to get a 5-star artifact every time, and that'll really help build up your account. For weapons, you can make do pretty well with a 3-star weapon up until AR-40 or so, but you should be getting some 4-star weapons out of the gacha, as well as crafting them by then. Talents. Every character has different talents that can be leveled up after you send them the first time. You can level up their talents, which increases the damage of their abilities, as well as gives more scaling to the effects and such. These are leveled up with books that can also be obtained in domains. Pre-AR-45, you want to be focusing on grinding bosses for their drops, as well as talents and talent books. There are also ley lines. These are gold and blue balls that give you XP and Mora. Farm those. And that's pretty much it. Follow the main story. When you want to level up your characters, grind that stuff out. You'll be getting a resource called Resin. You can see in the top right-hand corner that those moons, 160 resin. That is what you use to fight bosses, domains, and ley lines. As soon as you log in, spend that 160 doing that, and then do the story, hunt chests, all that. Alright, that's all I got time for. I was not planning on this video being this long. I'll see you guys in a future video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah,